Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. This one's brought to you by a Brilliant Tribe. This whole week, we're having a discount on our Brilliant Tribe, only the yearly pricing. So jump in. It's group coaching to help you level up. In fact, today we went over prepare to marvel your daily routine, just to change your life from the inside out. Now, today I have something that I absolutely love. I mean, you all know, if you follow me, that I love journals. And I have a mess load of journals. A journal for this and a journal for that. I took some time to identify the 5 top journals that a business leader should have. And so I believe that if you do this right, journaling on a daily or weekly basis, you not only become a better human, but you become a better leader. And your priorities, your thoughts, they're a lot clearer. So, and yes, my voice is still not back. So if I cough, excuse me. Exactly. Hold on. I thought I had to cough, but I didn't. All right. Here we go. Number 1. Journal number 1. The Reflection and Growth Journal. This one focuses on writing, and I'm going to read this out because I have this outlined, and of course, if you need it, I'll send it over to you. I have these outlined really nicely. The Reflection and Growth Journal, they focus on your daily leadership decisions and their outcomes. Each entry could explore a challenge that you faced, how you handled it, which is very important, right? We learn from our either wins or our failures, what we learned, and how we might approach it differently the next time. I think anytime you have a reflection journal, you need to look back in the day, at the end of the day. I have this one. So I typically look back at the end of the day and say, okay, what could I have done better? Who could I have treated better? What conversation could I have had when I was having it that could have been better? Was my attitude right? Did I treat them right? How about my tonality? Or even me? Did I show up in the right state? Right? Those things are important. So number 1, reflection journal. Number 2, the gratitude journal or impact log. I have this here, impact log document. I like to call it just the gratitude journal. Here is where you're going to go through and think about, for me, I think about anybody that has made me smile in the day. People that have made my life easier, right? Somebody that I've wanted to thank either because they impacted me in the day, or they were just kind, or they just brightened up my day. Or maybe they did it last week. Or maybe it was a client that I met. And he was in such a good, or she was in such a good attitude that it was infectious. Who do I want to reach out to thank and be grateful for, right? And then lastly, in this grateful journal, I think, well, what did I do today that I'm grateful for? What did I accomplish today? Because a lot of the times we're always looking outward and we're like, man, I wish I could do that. Oh man, how did they do that? Where we should be looking in at our lives and saying, I'm proud of that. I am proud of accomplishing that. And that's what this journal is, really. It's about being grateful for the people around you, being grateful for the people that are in your life, and being grateful for yourself. Number 3 is more of a mental or physical journal. It's really connecting you to how you're doing. We need to check in with ourselves, and I think we don't do this enough. So the idea of this journal is to just check through the day. You could also do this at the end, but the way that I do it is check in with myself and say, hey, was there any point in the day where I lacked energy, or I was feeling more emotional? And what can I learn from that? How can I prepare myself better for that? Was there something that was a challenge that because I wasn't in the right state, I didn't perform well, right? Is it something maybe physical? Like, what's wrong with my energy? Should I be working out more? Should I be eating better? Should I be drinking a lot more water? Or is it emotional? Is there something there that I need to tackle and maybe meditate on or think through about, right? What's the internal problem? I love doing that one. That would be my third one. Fourth one is one of my favorite ones. This one, I try not to miss. And it's called my brain dump journal. I'm going to read this to you. Take 5 to 10 minutes daily to write out ideas you have. Don't second guess yourself. Just write them out on a journal and then highlight the one or the two that stand out at the end. The point is just to get writing and put things on paper. This one's so fun for me. I do this almost every day. I don't skip this one. The other one, sometimes I skip. But this one, I love because one or two ideas from there often can be implemented super fast into my business, into my life, just in general. Really good. It's a fun one. I would highly recommend this one. And number 5, stories. I need you to document the stories. I need you to document what happens to you daily. Look, we live in a world that remembers stories. We go back, it's either biblical stories or his story, right? His story. We remember things through stories. And every day something happens to you. Either to you, you're part of something that happens, you have a conversation with somebody, and you can use these stories in the future. You just have to document them. I have this little journal, it's a small one. And in there, almost daily, I pick something that happened throughout the day. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 things. But I typically like to pick one thing that stood out. Maybe it had a lesson. Maybe there was nothing that day, and I'll go to the next day. The point is, I do my best to capture the story and the lesson so that I can tell it in the future, either when I'm speaking or when I'm doing a presentation, buyer presentation, seller presentation, or I'm out with a client, or maybe it just becomes an anecdote in a story of something else. The point is, people can relate to you better with stories, but you have to become aware of them first. I started doing this one because of a book. I think it's Stories Sell. Anyway, the author is Matthew Dix, and I think that's his book. And I thought it was such a good point that he made. Hey, document your stories daily and then use them in your life, use them in your business, because people can connect with you because of them. Those are the 5. If you need them, message me on Instagram. And don't forget, visit abrillianttribe.com, and hopefully my voice gets better by tomorrow.